Hey everyone, Raven here with my very first tutorial video. These videos are meant to be a little more bite-sized than my replay casts and really just focus on one aspect of the game. What we're doing today is showing how to conduct a basic attack against a defensive position, and assisting me today is my friend Firefly, who's going to be playing OPFOR.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Firefly. And I guess we're ready to get started. First, I just want to talk a little bit about my unit composition. I have 6 units of Jaeger. They are cheap 10-point West German infantry. They're really there to add bulk to my forces. Backing them up are some Fallschirmjäger, who are more elite infantry, a lot better stats, but I only have a couple of them. Same thing, I have Martyr 1A3s, which are infantry fighting vehicles, and they're carrying Panzer Grenadier, which are pretty good. They're kind of just high AT, a lot cheaper than Fallschirmjäger, but a lot of the same capabilities, and they're really going to be the main thrust of my attack when it gets going. Supporting them, I have some decent AA. I've got a couple Fliegerfaust, which are man pads. I've got some Rolands, some Gepards, which are kind of standard West German anti-aircraft. Some Recon. I have a Tiger in the back, which is a Recon chopper with exceptional optics, good stealth. And of course I have some tanks. I have 3 Leopard 2s, and what Leopard 2s are, just an 80 point, just real good value for the money, good armor, good gun, not a high rate of fire machine gun, just for 80 points, they're really good. I have 3 of them. And then I have the best West German tank, the Leopard 2A5, which is just, it's one of the most powerful tanks in the game, and that's going to be the armored fist of my attack, I guess. I also have a little flanking force over here that'll come into play later. And so, just when you're really wanting to start an attack, the first thing you want to do is analyze your opponent's terrain and understand that you can really break down this echo area into different sectors. There's this area of trees over here, this forest here, the town, some little woods. And really, when you start putting down smoke, when you start doing your artillery barrages, it's real important to try and cut your enemy up and really minimize his forces by only engaging parts of his army at a time. That really maximizes your combat power while minimizing his, and that's really the point of smoke and all those other tools. And so, I guess we're just about ready to start the actual attack. I want to point out, I have my mortars here. I have 3 mortars. They're pretty good. They got, get their unit card up. They fire relatively fast, good range, kind of small dispersion, and if you'll notice, I don't have them grouped up. I don't really have any of my units grouped up because it's always better to use them in singles as long as you can micromanage them effectively. And this is definitely more true with even more true with mortars and artillery, because now that I have them separate, I have them all on one hotkey. I can select them all at once, so I can fire them all at once, but I can also select individuals and give individual commands. It's the same thing with my howitzers back here, which are more longer range, artillery more for suppression and stunning. And so, just kind of the first step of any attack is to really go and recon. And to do that, I'm going to use a kind of conventional tactic, sending 1 cheap transport up the road just to see what it finds. Firefly, make sure you have your weapons on, please.
Okay.
And so we're trying to see what shoots at it. If it's... There goes my Tiger. We see he's got all these Conquerors. He's got ATGMs, probably got some tanks, a little bit of stuff in the forest. So it gives me a better idea of what I can expect when I attack. You stunned one of my mortars. Alright, so now that I have an idea, I'm going to select my howitzers, and I'm going to give them individual commands to fire at different targets and hopefully suppress the defenders in the forest, in the town, and elsewhere. What I'm doing is I'm pressing T to fire position, which makes them fire. And mortars, I'm going to use B, which is smoke position, and I'm going to hold down the shift key and issue commands. And what that does is it makes it so the commands chain, they queue up, and so it'll execute one fire order and then another until it runs out of commands that you've queued up for it. So I select one. See, and they'll start to fire really quickly. They'll execute one command and then the other. I'm just going to wait for my smoke to thicken out a little bit. I'm going to send a tornado ECR, which is a seed plane, followed by a bomber. And what that's going to do is look for enemy AA. The seed will look for enemy AA, perhaps kill it, while my bomber is more just to suppress the enemy, kill something, just soften them up a little bit more.
I'm turning on my radar anti-aircraft weapons. Makes things simpler.
So there's my seed finding the radar. He took a hit, but he killed 2 units. Looks like he died, but my tornado got his bombs off. And I'm ready to attack. What I just did was put down more smoke, queued up further orders. And here we go.
Now, all my ATGM units have absolutely no vision of what's coming towards the forest.
Yep. You see, I'm advancing with Jaeger on foot, but my leopards will follow. What I'm trying to do is find little places for them to hide while I come up. Some enemy artillery, I'm gonna hit it with bombers, or with mortars, I should say. And what doing this with my tanks does is it prevents them from being spotted as easily, and they can retreat quicker to avoid aircraft. I'm gonna send my Mortars up now. I have my Jaegers engaging the enemy tanks. They're filling a little bit more smoke because it's getting kind of light. So I've got my Fallschirmjäger advancing into the city. Making sure my AA keeps up. Mortars are dismounting their infantry. What I'm doing right now is... yeah, I'm just clearing the forest with my Panzer Grenadier. They have really good really good AT weapons. I'm gonna send in my diversionary force now. A little bit careless with my leopard there. I need to put my infantry out in front and have them go into the town first, while the tanks kind of sit back and just fire from the trees. Oh, I found his CV there, see? He's got helicopter gunships back there. Need to be ready to counter them. Bomber coming in for those LST. Optical failure on the Leopard kind of messes him up. He goes forward a little too much. But that's okay, he's pulling back. Looks like at this moment I pretty much have the town. He's probably mopping up a little bit more. Helicopters coming in. That's a pretty common quick reaction, sending in the helicopters, the planes. That's what I have this ASF up here for, by the way, is to be just ready and on hand to intercept aircraft that come at me.
I will try to counter your Gepards with a bomber plane now.
Oh yeah, there's
Perhaps.
bombers. I know his AA is mostly gone, so I'm just gonna go straight for it with my ASF. Hopefully I can intercept him. Yeah, there we go. You don't always get that lucky, but that time it worked out pretty well. I'm advancing on foot. At this point, really, you know, you're trying to get a CV in here. You want to be reinforcing, just calling in stuff, because I've been gaining points this whole time, obviously. Just whatever you need, whatever you've lost, I'm gonna harass his AA or his supply helicopters there as long as I see him flying away. And oh, there's something there. What is that? Ooh, I captured another supply truck. Thanks, Firefly. Very considerate. So yeah, I've pretty much taken Echo. I think I did have a few more forces than Firefly did, but that's important when attacking, is really to maximize your power while minimizing your enemies, and just you don't want to attack with equal forces if you can help it. But I think it went pretty well. So yeah, I have Echo. It's pretty secure. I could probably even push into Delta. I think I'll just quit out to look at the kills, which I think will be...
Well, yeah, we should do that, but one comment I have to make before we finish this video is that without any micromanagement, no matter what you have, you're never going to succeed in defense. The same goes for the offense, of course, but with what I had, I should have been able to defend this area a bit more easily than I actually had to. So this was of course done to simplify the whole thing, but overall I think that what Raven said cannot be overemphasized, that you need to have substantial forces in order to advance to enemy territory.
Yeah, and it was a little difficult for me just because to try and talk while I'm playing and think about what to say. Obviously, it makes it... My own micro was a little bit worse than it would have been. You see leopards kind of going out of place, or AA getting too far ahead, but hopefully the broad brush, the broad strokes were kind of transmitted here. You can see I actually have almost 2-to-1 kills, and that's pretty good for an attack. You know, attacking is really one of the hardest things you can do in Wargame, and I hope this video really explains some of the methodology behind that and just how you can try and start attacking on your own and hopefully be successful. But it's just really a short video, a broad overview, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. I'd really like some feedback on just how my first tutorial video went, how I could improve, and well, thanks Firefly for helping me, and this is Raven signing off.